भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांति। ओम नमो ब्रह्मादिभ्यो ब्रह्म विद्या संप्रदाय कर्तृभ्यो वंश ऋषिभ्यो महद्भ्यो नमो गुरुभ्यः। ओम सदाशिवसमारम्भां व्यासशङ्करमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ नमः प्रणवार्थाय शुद्धज्ञानैकमूर्तये निर्मलाय प्रशान्ताय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ॐ श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानामालयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। ॐ विदिताखिलशास्त्रसुधाजलधे महितोपनिषत्कथितार्थनिधे हृदये कलये विमलं चरणं भवशङ्करदेशिकमे शरणम्। Hari Om, salutations to the Lord, to the entire Rishimuni Guru, Devata Parampara, and also our Taittiriya Upanishad Acharya Parampara. Let us salute Shruti Mata. Let us directly salute the Parabrahma Tattva, requesting to bless us to experience that very much in this very life. In our chanting, let us do the Swadhyaya Prashamsa aspect of Rutam Cha Swadhyaya, or let us chant from the Om Pranava Upasana, which we chanted yesterday, but that being Om, nothing like Om. Therefore, it's very good again if we chant. Omiti Brahma, Omitidagam Sarvam, Omityetadanukrutih smava, Apyo Shravayetya Omiti Samani Gayanti, Ogam Shomiti Shastrani Shagam Sante, Omityadvaryo Pratigaram Pratigrunati, ओमिति ब्रह्मा प्रसौति ओमित्यग्निहोत्रमनुजानाति ओमिति ब्राह्मण प्रवक्ष्यन्नाह ब्रह्मोपाप्नवानेति ब्रह्मैवोपाप्नोति। ऋतं च स्वाध्याय प्रवचने च सत्यं च स्वाध्याय प्रवचने च तपश्च स्वाध्याय प्रवचने च दमश्च स्वाध्याय प्रवचने च अग्निहोत्रं च स्वाध्याय प्रवचने च अतिथयश्च स्वाध्याय प्रवचने च मानुषं च स्वाध्याय प्रवचने च प्रजा च स्वाध्याय प्रवचने च प्रजनश्च स्वाध्याय प्रवचने च प्रजातिश्च स्वाध्याय प्रवचने च सत्यमिति सत्यवचाराथेतरः तप इति तपो नित्यः पौरुषेष्टिः स्वाध्याय प्रवचने एवेति नाको मौद्गल्यः तद्धि तपस्तद्धि तपः अहं वृक्षस्य रेरिव कीर्तिं पृष्ठं गिरेरिव ऊर्ध्वपवित्रो वाजिनीव स्वमृतमस्मि द्रविणगं सवर्चसं सुमेधा अमृतोक्षितः इति त्रिशङ्कोर्वेदानुवचनम् वेदमनोच्चाचार्योऽन्ते वासिनमनुषास्ते सत्यं वद धर्मं चर स्वाध्यायान्मा प्रमदः आचार्याय प्रियं धनमाहृत्य प्रजातन्तुं मा व्यवच्छेत्सेः सत्यान्न प्रमदितव्यं धर्मान्न प्रमदितव्यं कुशलान्न प्रमदितव्यं भूत्यैन प्रमदितव्यं स्वाध्याय प्रवचनाभ्यां न प्रमदितव्यं देवपितृकार्याभ्यां न प्रमदितव्यं मातृदेवो भव पितृदेवो भव आचार्य देवो भव अतिथि देवो भव यान्यनवद्यानि कर्माणि तानि सेवितव्यानि नो इतराणि यान्यस्माकं सुचरितानि तानि त्वयोपास्यानि नो इतराणि ये के चास्मच्छ्रेयागंसो ब्राह्मणाः तेषां त्वयासनेन प्रश्वसितव्यं श्रद्धया देयम् अश्रद्धया देयं श्रिया देयं ह्रिया देयं भिया देयं संविदा देयम् अथ यदि ते कर्म विचिकित्सा वा वृत्त विचिकित्सा वा स्यात् ये तत्र ब्राह्मणाः सम्मर्षिणः युक्ता आयुक्ताः अलोक्षा धर्मकामाः स्युः यथा ते तत्र वर्तेरन् तथा तत्र वर्तेथाः अथाभ्याख्यातेषु ये तत्र ब्राह्मणाः सम्मर्षिणः युक्ता आयुक्ताः अलोक्षा धर्मकामाः स्युः यथा ते तेषु वर्तेरन् तथा तेषु वर्तेथाः एष आदेशः एष उपदेशः एषा वेदोपनिषद एतदनुशासनम् एवमुपासितव्यम् एवमुचैतदुपास्यम् शन्नो मित्रः शं वरुणः शन्नो भवत्वर्यमा शन्न इन्द्रो बृहस्पतिः शन्नो विष्णुरुक्रमः नमो ब्रह्मणे नमस्ते वायो त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्मासि त्वामेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्मावादिशं ऋतमवादिशं सत्यमवादिशं तन्मामावीद तद्वक्तारमावीद आवीन्माम् आवीद्वक्तारम् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. After we have done our Parayanam, let us chant Shanti Mantram and first 3 mantras and continue our study. Om Atha Krishna Yajurvedantargata Taittiriya Shakhantargata Taittiriya Upanishad Siksha Valli. Om Shanno Mitrah Sham Varunah Shanno Bhavatvaryama शन्न इन्द्रो बृहस्पतिः शन्नो विष्णुरुक्रमः नमो ब्रह्मणे नमस्ते वायो त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्मासि त्वामेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्म वदिष्यामि ऋतं वदिष्यामि सत्यं वदिष्यामि तन्मामवतो तद्वक्तारमवतो अवतु माम् अवतु वक्तारम्. ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. ओमदश्रियाद्य शङ्कराचार्य कृत मङ्गलाचरणश्लोकत्रयम्. ॐ यस्माज्जातं जगत्सर्वं यस्मिन्नेव प्रलीयते येनेदन्धार्यते चैव तस्मै ज्ञानात्मने नमः. यैरिमे गुरुभिः पूर्वं पदवाक्यप्रमाणतः व्याख्याताः सर्ववेदान्ताः तान् नित्यं प्रणतोऽस्म्यहम्. तैत्तिरीयकसारस्य मयाचार्यप्रसादतः विस्पष्टार्थरुचीनां हि व्याख्येयं सम्प्रणीयते. Salutations to the Lord, Guru Parampara, Upanishad Parampara. So, in this Shanti Mantra, Shamno Mitraha, today we are going to study it exhaustively along with the help of Bhashyam. In these 3 invocatory mantras, Bhagavan Shankara first saluted the Parabrahma Tattva, from whom the worlds have come, stay and go back. Second one, he did salutation, he guided us to salute all the Brahma Vidya Acharyas or the Gurus who with Pada and Vakya and Pramana, have done the Vyakhyan of all the Vedanta to the disciples, by which not only they guided the disciples toward the path of liberation, but they sustained this through Guru Shishya Parambara, this most profound divine Vedic knowledge, Vedantic knowledge. In the third one, what he said was, by the Prasada Mayon Acharya, this Vyakhya Praniyate, this commentary on the Taittiriya Upanishad has been given. Then this is the essence of the entire Taittiriya Aranyaka Taittiriya Upanishad. Taittiriya Shishyas, all of them, what they have experienced. Then whom is it valid for? Who can make use of it? Whom it will help? Is Vispashtartha Ruchinam. Those who are interested in thoroughly understanding every aspect meaning of the Upanishad, and through the Upanishad the Brahma Vidya or the Atma Vidya, which is the giver of the moksha. So here the Jignasu Adhikara is said, the one who is Vispashtartha Ruchi. So once in a while we have to strengthen our this aspect of the ruchitva, the interest in the vispashta artha, the clear understanding of shastra, practice and anubhava. With the grace of Guru God and with our punya, we definitely are regular in our study. That is half of the subject, half of the point. The remaining half is how much we have the ruchi in thoroughly understanding every aspect of this Adhyatmika Jivana, Adhyatmika Sadhana, Adhyatmika Moksha. To such people, the fulfillment will come when they study these Upanishad along with the Bhashya given by me as the blessings of my Acharya. This is what Bhagavan Shankara said. Now, in the Sambandha Anubandha Bhashya, why we are studying Upanishad? To explain to that, because he is going to comment on the Upanishad, he gave the need of Upanishad Vidya in contrast with the Laukika Vaidika Karma and Upasana, in which everything is conditioned, limited in the time, both the resources, both the performances, as well as the results. And through this process, we are more and more getting bound only in the Jiva Deha, the limited life. We are not coming to experience what we all seek, the infinitude. That infinitude is experienced only through the experience of Brahma Tattva. Brahma Tattva is experienced only when we experience the Atma Tattva. Atma Tattva is experienced when there is a jignasa for the Atma, desire for the Atma is there, to the extent that it consumes all other desires. If the Atma Kamana is not consuming all other Kamana, in other words, if the Kamana for the Atma Prapti is not so strong, then there will be Kamanas for the world here and the hereafter. Then we, a Kami, will become a Karta, and then we become the Bhokta through this samsara chakra of going from one place to other, one loka to other, one body to other, one situation to other, continuously, relentlessly, which is technically defined as the samsara. As much we can clearly understand this particular topic, so much we are helping ourselves by becoming the pursuers of the Atma Vidya and Brahma Vidya, and helping ourselves in getting liberated from all limitations when this Atma Vidya, Brahma Vidya is fulfilled in the Atma Anubhuti, Brahma Anubhuti. These are all theory. Then how to get the Atma Jnana, Brahma Jnana? That is what the Upanishad's theme is. Therefore, we took up the commentary on this. Therefore, we are asking you also to study only this. That also when you deserve, and your deservability is, you also want to get liberated, not in the ignorant way of never getting the result as was done by Alya, but as being experienced by the entire Rishimuni Guru Devata Parampara, where through the Brahmanubhuti gained through Brahma Vidya, they have liberated from ऑल द इग्नोरेंस स्टे स्टार्ट होने वाला, जीव भाव से कंटिन्यू होने वाला, देह तादात्म्य से सस्टेन होने वाला, देन कामना कर्म के द्वारा चलते रहने वाला बंधन को, दे ऑल गॉट ट्रांसेंडेड इन दैट वे. दिस उपनिषद विद्या हेल्प्ड देम, those who are vispashtartha ruchi, for them this one it is. Then what we studied yesterday, the last 4 5 lines, along with what is contained in the Upanishad, what is called as Upanishad, it's worthy of reading as many times as it is required till our hearts are completely filled with the correct and thorough understanding. The first aspect is Tasmat Avidya Adi Karma Upadana Hetu Nivruttau Atmani Avasthanam Moksha. What is moksha? Atmani Avasthanam. So establishing in the self is the moksha. How it is removed? The cause of the bandhana, when it is removed, then you get into the moksha. What is the bandhana actually? It is the kama, karma, and the karma phala and janma marana. This is called as bandhana. Then what is the hetu of this two? Avidya. Therefore, through the Atma Vidya, when the avidya is removed, which was the hetu for the kamana and karma ityadi, followed by the janma marana. When that Atma Vidya is removing the avidya, avidya related jiva bhava, dehaditadhatmya, kama, kamya karma, phala anubhavartham, different janma. When that is done, then what remains is the Atma Prapti, that is called as moksha. Remember, moksha is nitya and moksha is Atma Anubhava Swarupa. Atma Anubhava also is nitya. When the Atma Anubhuti Rupa moksha is nitya to us, why are we not feeling it now? Is it is covered by the avarana and vikshepa. The avarana is ignorance of the self, followed by the vikshepa of the presence of the limited jiva bhava with the upadis. So, with the Atma Vidya, listen carefully. With the thoroughly studied Atma Vidya, up to the not only intellectual level, but keep on doing the sadhana of the Atma Vidya, to that extent, the avidya avarana, then the jivadi vikshepatva, this goes on going away. Then that goes away, then what was eternally there, the moksha sarupa nitya atma anubhuti comes to us. What example was given to us in Vivek Chudamani Ityadhyar? Even the mass on the water surface level up above is removed, the crystal clear water inside is available to us. When the clouds are removed, the sun is available to us. Sun is always there. Pure water is always there. The clouds covered the sun. The mass covered the sun. This clouds and mass is called as avidya. Through the avidya, when the clouds removed, the mass is removed, the pure sun who is always there, pure water which is always there, is available. तत्शैवालापनये सम्यक सलीलं प्रतीयते शुद्धं तृष्णासंतापहरं सद्यः सौख्यप्रदं परपुंसः. This is how in Vivek Chudamani, in a semi-prose order, that shloka was written. So only the Shaivala was covering the water. When it is removed, the clear water is seen. So too, the avidya and avidya janita avarana and vikshepa are making us feel as if we are bound jiva. Making us feel as if we are bound by jiva bhava. All of them are like the non-apprehension of the rope is making us feel as if there is a snake, consequent fears. The non-apprehension of the rope made us feel as if there is a snake. So too the non-apprehension or experience of the pure self is making us feel as if we are the jiva, deha, ityadi. No, it is so deeply rooted, or that avidya. Therefore, so to such a deep level, when the vidya, rupi, aushadhi, or the arrows are taken into our heart, that level, the avidya and avidya krita avarana vikshepa goes away. Avarana is not able to understand, experience the pure self, which is moksha swarupa. Vikshepa is, instead of that, finding ourselves to be a pseudo entity, a notional entity, strengthened by upadhis. In the pure Atma Anubhava, remember the Jiva Bhava is not there, Upadhis are not there, Upadhi Tadhyatma is not there, then Kamana, Karma, Karma Phala Ityadi. None of them are valid there. Like when we wake up from sleep, dreamer, the dream objects, dream desires, dream karma, dream prapti of the objects, dream sukha. None of them are not there, not required. So this point is what? Very important. We saw yesterday, day before, today also, कि avidyadi karma upadana hetu nivruttau. Avidya adi, which is karma upadana hetu. कर्म रूपी उपादान के लिए हेतु रूपी अविद्या आदि when they are removed. How it is removed? Only by the vidya naturally. Then when that is removed, what remains? With vidya, when the hetu of the karma and karma phala is removed, what is the hetu of karma and karma phala? Avidya and kamana. Then swa atmani avasthanam. Then one doesn't cease to exist. Because the self is such existence, it can never be denied. That self only has become now karta bhokta rupa jiva through the upadhi in this gross world, which is projected. When that entire system or misconception of I being jiva is removed, through the removal of its mula karana called as avidya viti vidya. So through the atma vidya, the avidya kamana is removed. Sorry, through atma vidya, the avidya is removed. When the avidya is removed, kamana is gone. Kamana is gone away, karma is gone away. Karma gone away, karma phala gone away. Karma gone away, then the janma varna has gone away. When all that has gone away, is there nothing remaining? No, no, no. There is the self which is always there. That self you will experience yourself as. That's called as Atmani Avasthanam. That's called Moksha. See? Moksha, what is that? Every day, 11th skanda we are chatting, every Muktihi Hitva Anyata Rupam Sarupena Vyavastitihi. Same thing. Morning, evening topic is same. Okay. So with Atma Vidya, when the Avidya is removed, Avidya Janita, entire samsara is removed, then the Atma Vidya, after removing Atma Avidya, Atma Pratishtha will happen. So Atma Nishtha, it is called here. So Atma Navasthanam. That is called you are now with yourself, which is infinite, which is blissful. Therefore, we are in moksha. Why when you establish in the Atma, you are in moksha? Because Swayam cha Atma Brahma. Because the self itself is Brahma. Brahma is infinite. Brahma is one without second. Brahman is pure Satchidananda Swarupa. Therefore, in that one without second, infinite, pure Satchidananda Atma, what is there which is the cause for bondage? Nothing, therefore moksha. See, the bandhana is Kala bandhana, Desha bandhana, Vastu bandhana, Dvaita bandhana. They are all not there in that. Limitations are there, fears are there. For the bandha, all bandha is because Dvaita. All the bandhana because Ajnana. So Dvaita nahi hai, bandhan nahi hai, Ajnan nahi hai, bandhan nahi hai. Finitude gives the bandhana. There is no finitude, it is infinite. Therefore, Swayam cha Atma Brahma, Brahma being Ananta Ananda Sarupa, therefore Atma Anubhava is equal to Brahma Anubhava is equal to Moksha. That is why, therefore, through this Upanishad or in this Upanishad, what we are teaching is that Brahma Vidya, that Atma Vidya. Swayam cha Atma Brahma. So wherever the Atma Vidya is said, from the individual standpoint, Brahma is total standpoint, only the words that are used to explain, otherwise both are same. Never ever feel differentiation whenever the Atma or Brahma is spoken. Both are one. तत्व दृष्टि से एक ही है, वही तो गोल है ब्रह्मात्मा के बोध. But when the individual Panchakosha Atma Samashti is Brahma, that's only spoken from the Upadhi standpoint. Nirupadhi group se both are one. There are no two. Neither one is separate from the other, nor one is a part of the other, nor one merges in the other. That's what we studied in Mandukya very clearly. The Ghata Akasha is never separate from the Mahakasha, never came out from the Mahakasha. Therefore, the Ghata walls, when they are broken, never it merges in the Mahakasha. Why? It was never separate. They were not two any time. Only the walls made you feel as if they are separate. That feeling is removed by the removal of the wall, not if something happened as if the Akasha space, sorry, Gata Akasha merged in total Akasha. Such thing has not happened. No need to happen. They were never separate. In the same way, Upadhi Kruta only Atma Brahma discussion. Otherwise, one. Therefore, what is said? Tad Vijnanat Avidya Nivrittihi. Atma is Brahma. When the Brahma Vijnana happens, entire Avidya with Avarana and Vikshepa, everything gets removed. Iti. This is the whole thing to be achieved. Iti means that's what to be achieved. Ataha, therefore, Brahma Vidya Artha Upanishad Arabhyate. That Upanishad whose meaning is Brahma Vidya, that Upanishad whose purpose is Brahma Vidya. Artha means meaning, Artha means purpose. है ना, ब्रह्म विद्या अर्थ, वो उपनिषद जिसमें ब्रह्म विद्या ही अर्थ मीनिंग है, और वो उपनिषद जिसमें ब्रह्म विद्या ही पर्पस लक्ष्य है, दैट इज आरभ्यते. सो ब्रह्म विद्या विल रिमूव द अविद्या. व्हाट इज अविद्या? As if there is other than Brahman, there is something called a Jiva or the Jagat or the Ishvara. In the Brahma Anubhuti, that alone is there. If that Anubhuti is not there, in other words, Brahma Vidya is not there, where we are now at the present state, we see I am the Jiva, there is a Jagat, there is an Ishvara. Then when these three are there, then there continuous struggle for the Jiva to be safe with the other Jivas in the Jagat. And he wants always something from the Jagat. Jagat doesn't give, then he fights with it. That's samsara. So too from the Ishvara, we have to seek something always, and we are afraid of him that he'll punish us for our sins, and we do lot of upasana to seek his favors. All this also, though little better and nobler, is a part of ignorance. In the highest wisdom, where I myself am the Brahman, okay, in whom the Jiva Jagat Ishvara Bheda is superimposed, having reached that, you are not separate from the Ishvara also, Jagat also, from the absolute standpoint. Therefore, just like when I no more have limitations parichinnatas with myself, because I have discovered Brahma Tattva, so too I will never have desires for the world, because the substratum of the world is understood by myself. So too there is no need of any differentiation or fear or even invoking the grace of that Ishvara, because I am not a Jiva anymore needing the help of the Ishvara. I am that Brahma Tattva which is substratum also for the Ishvara. So that's how the Brahma Vidya removes the avidya, in which beginning first differentiation of Jiva Jagat Ishvara made, then the subsequent differentiation of in the Jagat so many Jivas are there and they are related to me and I need something from them, and in the Jagat there are so many objects also, I need them and I own them as Mama Aham. All this is nothing but ignorance, nothing but delusion, nothing but the secondary projection of the mind preceded by the primary ignorance of this self. Is it not? When I forget myself as a man, then only the secondary projections of all I become a father or brother or son or whatever it may be. And in that, there is always something doing, something getting. When you do something, you get something only, you don't get everything. When it is not everything, it's only something, it will never give the fulfillment. Therefore, to get fulfillment from something to other, you are jumping by desiring something to the other. That's called an entire samsara. This we have to recognize in the deep core of our heart. In sense, what is happening in us through us every day, in that what is being done by us, when we analyze what is samsara is understood. That is what is bandhanam. Then the question comes, then how to get liberated of it, moksha. Then we will say, all that is because of the ignorance of your own infinite self mind. Yeah, ignorance created is all your struggle every moment, every day. When you get the knowledge of the self and abide in the self, all the ignorance created, the samsara, bandhana, mithya goes away. Therefore, Brahma Vidya arabhyate. Why? Avidya nivrutti iti atha Brahma Vidya artha Upanishad arabhyate. Brahma Vidya Atma Vidya, the Vidya goes away, Avidya created, samsara goes away. Therefore, that Upanishad in which Brahma Vidya is the purpose that is being taught. Now comes the most important one. What is Upanishad? We studied yesterday before, we studied in Kata Upanishad. In some other place also we have seen. Once more we will study it with the Bhashya for a couple of minutes to be very precise and clear in us. Let us start in the opposite way from what we saw yesterday. What is the meaning is Brahma Vidya or Upanishad Vidya is Moksha Anubhuti. Anything lesser than the Anubhuti is not Upanishad. Therefore, in the Upanishad, when there is a book, when there are the words, then there are mantras, when there are meanings, when they have to be understood, when they have to be contemplated. Remember, all of them should lead to Brahma Anubhuti. That Brahma Anubhuti is called as Upanishad too. These all things lead to that Brahma Anubhuti. Therefore, that also is called as Upanishad, too, not primarily but secondarily. Therefore, by doing all these things of studying mantras, knowing the word meaning, knowing the sentence meaning, knowing theoretically everything said, but the Atma Anubhuti or Brahma Anubhuti is not gained, means what? Upanishad is not studied. Therefore, don't stop at any level by saying that I studied Upanishad. You can say you have studied Upanishad only when the Atma Anubhuti comes. That is what is said. Upanishad iti Vidya uchyate. Upanishad is Vidya. Vidya is an Anubhuti. Vidya means knowledge, knowing. Knowing of what? The being. What is the being? The Brahma. So, Aham Brahmasmi iti Anubhava Vidya alone is called Upanishad. Upanishad iti Vidya uchyate. Anubhuti it is called. Jnanam. Jnanam means the jnanam of what is there. What is there is Brahma. Brahma is me. When that fulfillment happens, then only Upanishad is studied. None of the other things of even contemplation on the mantras of Upanishad. They all help. That's why they are also called as Upanishad. But don't take it as Upanishad. Upanishad is only moksha. Second is what? Tat Shilinam. What is Tat Shilinam? Those people who have, listen carefully, studied, heard the Upanishad from the Guru, did their own reflection, mananam, and understood and digested and fully living what is said in the Upanishad Vidya. Tat Shilina means for whom what is said in the Upanishad has become one with. How? First Shravanam, then Mananam, then understanding, then practice. With these four processes, when the Upanishad becomes the character of any person, means like each one has whatever his knowledge. According to that, he lives. That life is called his character. So we got the Upanishad Vidya and we have lived the Upanishad Vidya. Therefore, our character became Upanishadic. Therefore, it's called a Tat Shilinam. For whom the Upanishad has become Shila. Means Upanishad mein whatever the knowledge of Brahma Tattva is told, when that has become my own character. What should be its result is said. Because of that result, that Vidya is called as Upanishad. Result is what? Tat Shilinam. Result is Garbha Janma Jara Adi Nishatanatu. Garbha, entering to the womb, Janma, getting born, Jara, becoming the old, then Adi, starting from this, Nishatana means death. Up to this, all that samsara, whichever is there, sorry, Garbha, Janma, Jara, Adi, Nishatanat. Shata means, see, the Upanishad. Shada is what is there now. Nishad is what is there now. Upanishad. So that Nishatanath is the word he is explaining here. So when you study the Upanishad and when the Upanishad becomes your Shila, Upanishad means Nishatana. Nishatana means total destruction. of what? Garbha, Janma, Jara, Adi. Adi means again and again repetition. Garbha, Janma, Jara, Adi means Mrityu, leading to again Garbha Masa, then the Janma, then Jara Mrityu, and between Janma, Jara Mrityu, so much of the samsara in this world. ये सबका निशातन होता है, इसलिए उसको निशतु कहा है. उपनिषद क्यों? When you study, Upa means what? Tatshilina. Upanishad. Upa means Tatshilina. Nishad means Nishatanat, destruction. Of what? Garbha, Janma, Jara, Adi Samsara. Clear? See how beautifully Shankara Bhagavan has Upanishad he has explained. Upa Tatshilinam Nishadanat Garbha Janmanadi Nishatanat. Nishat Garbha Janmadi Nishatanat. Then Tad Avasanadva. Tad Avasadana means that total removal of the avidya brahmanava upagamayitrutva. So nishadana means what do you say? Making it shithila, making it like anything when it has to be destroyed, we will make it first loosened. Then we remove it. So nishadana means loosening. Then avasadana means totally eliminating. Then brahmanava upagama nigama itrutva takes us near to the Brahman. Like a pillar is there. Below the pillar, under the ground, there is a treasure is kept. You need the treasure. You know it somehow through the Anjana Vidya. It is known. What do you do first of all? It's a pillar or the tree. पहले जानो ऐसे करते थे नीचे सारे धन लगाकर उसके ऊपर कोई पिलर या कोई पेड़ लगाते थे. So first we do what? The nishadanam of the pillar. Then the avasadhanam of all the avasheshas of the pillar along with the earth. Then nishadana means loosening the pillar, making it to pieces by putting a dynamite or hitting with hathoda, whatever the equipments you have. Then what do? You remove all that. Like पेड़ के डालियां तोड़ दी और रूट के साथ पेड़ को और मिट्टी को भी निकाल दी. अगर पेड़ है वहां तो if there is a tree, then what do? Once you do both these things, the nishadanam and avasadhanam, whatever the treasure is there, you take it. Is it not? Here the treasure is what? Brahma Vidya. That is why Brahmana va upagamayitrutvat. That which makes you merge in the Brahma. So Garbha Janma Jaradi is diluted, Garbha Janma Jaradi is eliminated, Brahma Anubhuti is gained. That are the three meanings of Upanishadu. Okay, Tat Shilinam, Garbha Janma Jaradi Nishatanat, Tad Avasadayitnatva. Third one is Brahmanova Upagamayitrutva. It's called Upanishad. Therefore, if we are studying Upanishad and if you have not gained the Brahma Vidya and before the Brahma Vidya Anubhuti, if the total samsara is not eliminated and before the elimination of samsara, the tightness of the samsara, if not loosened, then we are not at all studying Upanishads. Therefore, like any medicine is taken, we check whether it is working in the removal of the disease and giving the health or not. करना पड़ता है ना. In the same way, Upanishad study should dissolve our or dilute our strong hold on to the samsara. What is the meaning, Swamiji, here? The dissolution of the strong hold of the samsara means the importance and reality given to the samsara should be reduced. Means we are not taking it so seriously, really, as we were taking it before we started the study of Upanishad. Before Upanishad is studied, for us the whole samsara is so real. Samsara means, especially in Jagrata Avastha, I am so and so, the world is so and so, then I need this or that, and that people can give me or help me, therefore I have to approach or work. This all samsara should is so fully we involved in that. Uska avasadhan hona hai. What is avasadhan here? Is they are all not real, they are not permanent, they are not in fact giver of the moksha or ananda. In fact, on the name of giving moksha and ananda, they are only giving me bondage. Just in the bonded labor. I'll give you the place to stay, I'll give you the food, I'll give food to your people also. You stay here, you'll be safe. This is how the Raja or the dictator will tell. And these fellows, they accept, understand, and really they are there in the vicinity of the Raja and or the dictator, and he gives the food also. But they forget that their entire freedom of whatever they want to achieve is totally taken away. They are the slaves of the dictator, and they are not allowed to go out and to their work and abilities. What greatest things they would have achieved otherwise, he is not giving. These things they never understand. What do they feel? He is giving us place to stay, he is giving us food. Therefore, we have dedicated, totally surrendered to them. What they mainly forget is what? Just like he is a Raja or a dictator, you also have equal potential to become another Raja. That thing is totally covered. Like every clerk or officer, section officer forgets by being a clerk that he can be also an officer. Potential. When it is said, it appears to be an officer, a surprise only. But that's the fact. You have all potentialities, but you are binding to be a clerk is hiding not only the potentialities, but even the possibilities. If you understand these two examples, in the same way, being in samsara as a jiva with the dehadi, identifying with samvarna ashrama, doing whatever, even though good results are coming, but all of that is binding. Like after all the experience we have in dream, ultimately our dream experience is only not as real, substantial, great as a waking. They are not so real like that. Is it not? This is the meaning of becoming avasadhana or avasadhana happening of the samsara. Like as I gave the example, it happens in the case of your friends also. They're so chalu. They talk so lovingly to you and they take away all your time, money and all. They use your resources, your all name and आपको पता ही नहीं चलता because you are attached to that friend. Suddenly one day you realize it. This fellow is making use of me और मेरे लिए गला खोद रहा है वो. The moment you understand, immediately you just keep him away. That's called as Nishadhanam. So, too, how much ever beautiful may be our outer pursuits, including doing great upasanas, yajna yaga, and out of them the result may be even getting Brahmaloka, Indraloka, or in this loka, everything. Let's remember carefully, all that put together, how much ever glorious it may be, but it is hiding more glorious thing than all of them called as my own self. When this is understood, then the importance given to them is reduced. That's called avasadhana. It happens in our life within some relations also. We are so much attached to, identify to, respectful to somebody. Then we recognize that from that person, instead of getting positive, we are only getting negative. Then all that bondage or attachment slowly gets loosened. That's called as avasadhana. It has to happen. In a way, it's good. That's a confused state compared to the earlier state of believing the world to be real and fully involving in that. कोई डाउट नहीं होता आप देखोगे संसारियों को हाउ vigorously they work for whatever the wealth or bhoga they want. Compared to that, this fellow who samsara bhava is being avasadhana, he'll be in a state of dilemma and confusion. That is not wrong. It's a very good thing because that's how from that non-positive to the positive we come. See, after avasadhana only, then what is that real? Where the permanent thing will come, that thought of will come. Then we say it is a moksha vidya. Then we have to say that moksha vidya or atma vidya will be done when you totally give it up. Then in that case also, thoda chodna, thoda pakadna, thoda chodna, thoda pakadna, pehla hota tha. Dhire dhire we start giving it completely. When you give it up completely, it's called as the second thing called as what is it? Earlier nishatanam, this is called avasadhanam. See, in our today's schedule every day, the avasadhanam is happening to some extent because we are spending more and more time for our study. Now, just imagine that 24 hours we are only in the study of Upanishads, contemplation on the truth, and doing all those practices only, which will remove the impurities and make us qualified with the Anubhava of the Atma. And the other side of it, when you look at other than the, there's not even time it till given to anything else except for sufficient rest and eating food for survival. What is there in our life? Zero of the samsara. That's called avasadana. Upanishad makes us do it by giving us the importance about the Brahma Vidya, because that alone is giver of the moksha. And all it is happening is healthily. All this happening is in our own maturity of analyzing and understanding what is binding, what is liberating, what is wrong, what is right, what is lower, what is ultimate. या कोई भी कहीं किसी को धोखाबाजी नहीं हो रहा है, झूठ नहीं बोला जा रहा है. The facts only are told. We are realizing the facts. Obviously, it happens in us, the Nishadanam and Avasadanam. Now, when these two are told, each one of us right now at this very moment think when we are studying our Upanishads, how much of the Nishadana of the Garbha Janma Jaradi and Avasadana of that happened. Nishadanam is loosening, Avasadanam is they are totally devalued and they are no more in us. Like addicted to TV. Funny, silly example. But slowly developed dimag kharabi as well as headache. Then what do? The addiction is reduced from 10 hours to 4 hours. That's called nishadana sthiti. Still the headache is not going away. Okay. Then the doctor says you need to take a lot of rest. Then what do? You give up the total TV. That's called avasadana. Then you take the rest. That is called Brahma Vidya. Or Brahma Gamayitrutvat. Then you feel all the headache is gone, tension is gone, you are happy. Then later on you are told, Ja TV dekho, Sardar Bhai, I will not go. In the same way, the addiction to TV is addiction to the samsara. Reducing for few hours is called Nishatanam. Totally giving up it is Avasadanam. Entering into the rest or any other positive entertainment is Brahma Gamayitrutvat. Our focus is only on the Brahma Vastu all the time. Only those shastras, those mantras we study. Our continuous thought is that only. That is called as the sixth of the Shamadhi Shatka Sampada. That is called as Samadhanam. Sarvada Sthapanam Buddhehe Shuddhe Brahmani Sarvatha Tat Samadhanam Ityuktam Natu Chitta Silalanam. The greatest state we have reached to. Not the ultimate greatest. Where all the time the Brahma Chintana, Tattva Chintana, Atma Chintana, Sadvastu Chintana is happening. Remember, whenever one word is used, it includes all these. All words are synonyms, meaning the same thing. Where you call it Tattva Chintana or Atma Chintana or Eka Chintana, Chaitanya Chintana, Sadvastu Chintana, Brahma Chintana, Atma Chintana, Upanishad Sara Chintanam, कुछ भी का बात एक ही है. What is that one? From where everything? Which is the first mantra. Yasma Jatam Jagat Sarvam, Yasmineva Praliyate, Yenedam Dharete. That only we are continuously focusing to know. That is called as Brahmano va upa nigamayutrutvat. It takes us nearer and nearer to Brahma Vidya. What is the taking us nearer to Brahma Vidya? Two things. It will spashta roop se explain what is the meaning of Brahman, and it will use such technique. When followed, that meaning of Brahman is experienced in us that it is me. What is the meaning of Brahman? Satchidananda. Then the techniques of sadhanas are told by of not the karma rupi sadhana there will be, is the sadhana of Vyatireka and Anvaya. When the Vyatireka of Asat, Achit and Anananda is done, Anvaya of Sachidananda is done, then Brahma Gamayitrutva means that intellectual knowledge which told that Brahman is reality and you are Brahmana, that becomes experience. Thereafter, inside me there is a Brahma Tattva, I am pursuing it. From this stage, Aham Brahmasmi, we have reached. Once I know Brahma, I am not a Jiva, I know relation with Upadhi, no need of any desire fulfillment, no action, no karma phala, no janma marana, no garbha janmadi, no samsara. How beautiful that is. Still we have not understood even more than 3%. 1-2% is samjhe. Same thing repeatedly when we contemplate, then the sara of what is said by Shankara comes to us. And it is a very essential, crucial aspect of initiation into Brahma Vidya. What's Brahma Vidya? Why Brahma Vidya? Why Upanishad it is called? Usko samajhna important. Like when you eat food, The hunger should go away, the trupti should come, the energy should come. Then only food eating is called fulfillment. So too, when the Upanishad is studied, Shitilatha or Avasadhana, Nishatanam of the samsara should happen, Avasadhanam should happen, as well as Brahma Gamanam should happen. Here in Kata Upanishad, Avasadhanam means Avidya Nivrutti, says. Samsara Shaithilya, Avidya Nivrutti, Brahma Prapti. This is called as Visharana Avasadhana Gati. So samsarasya visharanat avidyayaha avasadanat brahma gamayitrutvat sadede dhatoho visharana avasadana gati iti tirini arthani. These are three meanings. Trayorthaha. And further, upa is important. Ni is important. Then sada will happen. Upa means there samipe gatva. Ni means nitantam nischayena. When you go to the Guru, go with Nishchaya that he is the one who can give me Brahma Vidya, and go with the Nishchaya that from him I will gain only Brahma Vidya, nothing else. And to that, Ni means Nikrushta, sit at his feet, not on his head. Upa means himself going near the Guru, Ni means Niche Baitkar. And why going with the Nishchaya that he alone can give Brahma Vidya, and I want only Brahma Vidya, nothing other than. With this Upa and Ni preparation, when I go to the Guru, he teaches Upanishad. When he gives the Upanishad, what will happen is Visharana Avasadhana Gati. No more samsara. Samsara means nirantara struggle to get continuous happiness in the discontinued activities and the things and beings. And we call it as happiness. It's not even happiness, it's only sense tickling or pleasures. The one who never understands the higher happiness, for him the lower things themselves are pleasures. Many a times in a discomfortable thing only we think we are comfortable. Like the one who's sitting in a backless stool, he doesn't know the joy of sitting in a reclining sofa. The comfort of the reclining sofa or any chair is nowhere found in a stool. उधर पहले स्टूल है तो लकड़ का बना है, वो नीचे दर्द होता है, फिर आपका पाँव का नीचे सपोर्ट नहीं है, पीछे बैक नहीं है, हैंड रेस्ट नहीं है. बट इन द रिक्लाइनिंग सीट, put the hands separate, and then you can, there's a footrest also is there, then you can just relax behind. There's a pillow also behind your back so that it is not strained. What a joy it is. That example I'm giving only to say that compared to the pleasures of the Jagat, the inner happiness of Ananda is like that. And the one who has never seen that sofa, he will think there is comfort only in the stool. Somebody knows it is, but they can't afford to buy it. Unka qualification hai only stool. In the same way, many of us don't know that there is Shashwata Ananda Rupi Brahma Tattva. Therefore, for us, pleasures alone is completeness. Some of us, those who are exposed to this, still we can't afford to buy that sofa, Brahma Vidya, because we don't have the variety of sadhana of Samadhamadi, approaching the Guru, asking him, learning from him, doing mananam, chintanam. Sara is the cost we have to pay for this higher reclining chair. The stool you will buy in 500 rupees, but reclining chair will be 20,000 rupees. There's a 40 times cost is more for that. In the same way, for the pleasures, you have to do small karma and do it comes. But to get the Brahma Ananda, you have to go to the Guru, surrender, gain all the sadhana sampada, then do Shravana Manana and reach out. There should be no ambiguity in any of these understandings. So, why Brahma Vidya is taught? And why that Brahma Vidya is taught through Upanishad? And what is the meaning of Upanishad? And why that is Upanishad word is used? All is said here. So Upanishad iti vidya uchyate. Why? Tat Shilinam, those who have made the Upanishad their character, Garbha Janma Jaradi Nishatanatu, then Tat Avasadhanatva or Brahmanova Upanigayitruttvatu. It is called Upanishad. Therefore, the last one is what? The one meaning is Upanishannam va asyam param shreya iti. Asyam Upanishannam param shreya iti Upanishad. Asya means into this. Vidya, which is there in the Upanishad. Asya means into this. Upa, having gone near, Nishannam, when you have surrendered oneself to it, Param Shreya, the supreme good happens to him. That's what it calls Upanishad. अस्याम उपनिषन्नाम उपनिषन्नम अस्याम उपनिषन्नम वा param shreya iti. Those who are submerging themselves in the Upanishad, for them param shreya will come. That is why it is called upanishannam param shreya. Param shreya is moksha. Is it not? Therefore, it's called Upanishad. Very simple. Means the ones who have made themselves one with the Upanishad, Upanishad with themselves one, they have got Paramashraya as moksha. Because Upanishad is talking only moksha vidya. And as we study deeply, deeply, whatever the doubts which are there, they get dispelled. And all the time, remember, mind, in one day study or one listening or little contemplation, please remember everything is not understood. Isn't it? First day only every alphabets are not learned by children. First they learn alphabet by alphabet, the word, then assembling them. और बड़ा होता है उसको तब जाकर they'll be able to communicate through the words what they want to say, or they understand what is said through the words. So first day you only sow the seed, the plant won't come. You just अभी चढ़ाया स्टोव पे, चावल तुरंत उबलता नहीं है, या अभी भिगोया और तुरंत वो होता नहीं है, उसके 6-8 घंटे लगते हैं भीगने में. You understand all that? In the same way, don't expect Turanta result in the Upanishad, but Pakka result will be there. Till the result comes, one has to pursue, pursue, pursue. So what we are doing? Studying Upanishad. What the experience of Upanishad is? Moksha. Why? Because when you become Upanishad, one with Upanishad, Tatshilinam, for you, the samsara nishadanam, avajnanasya avasadanam, then Brahma gamanam. All these three happen. And then, yes, Asya Upanishannam va Param Shreya. Those who are Upa, going near, Nishannam, seated in that Param Shreya, supreme moksha will come. In other words, other than the Upanishad Brahma Vidya, any other Vidya is actually not Vidya, it's Avidya only. All of that will not give you Param Shreya, the moksha. It may give at the most Dharma Artha Kama. Moksha it will not give. And without mukti, what is the use of any of other things? And this has to click in us. Then only our pursuit for Upanishad becomes serious. Like it should click to me that I am hungry, I have to eat food. Then only my pursuit of going to a hotel becomes fulfilled. इसलिए कोई बंदे होटल के चारों तरफ घूमते हैं, अंदर बैठकर खाते नहीं. Or any shopping mall place, they go, but they don't buy anything. Because inside the jignasa, to buy something or eat here something is not there. With whatever they have, they feel it's okay. So too, as long as we don't understand that we are in the bondage and we must come out of it and enter into moksha, our Upanishad study, Brahma Vidya, Adhyatmic Sadhana will never become meaningful to us. And then it will not be done very seriously. Then to such person only, all the disturbances will disturb. The one who is intensely into that, nothing can disturb him because it's not available only to this. That's what the example of that Ishukara, in that example of Tattiriya's gurus. That person is so much involved in that making of the arrow, sharpening that is nobody like king coming or going. He never wanted to withdraw from the disturbance created by the king because it's not noticed only. Why? So much he is into the making of that arrow. So too, with so much of devotion, so much of Shraddha, we are totally into the pursuit of moksha through Upanishad Vidya, Brahma Vidya. How can the bodily problems disturb us? How can be the mind's attachment, attractions can disturb us? How can the modifications and sukha dukha and labha हानि of the world can touch us? मैं उनके लिए available नहीं हूँ to disturb me. This we have to convince about. I must, through Upanishad Brahma Vidya, recognize my own self infinite and get liberated from all limitations. And I will pursue it. Pursue it wholeheartedly, pursue it single pointedly, intensely, deeply, 100%. Such one is called Nachiketa. We studied about him. What the essence of being a Nachiketa's character is this one. He can go and embrace even the death, but from him also he wants only Brahma Vidya. And with that intense desire, age doesn't matter. He will be given the knowledge, he will receive it. Without intense desire, you may grow in age, but दिमाग में पूरा ये दुनियादारी फंसा है. You will never understand the glory of the moksha through Brahma Vidya or the Upanishad. So what have we grown then? We have grown only in the physical body, in more and more desire and vasanas only. We have never grown in the real understanding of where liberation is, how to attain it. It's a Bevakufi. Everybody wants moksha. But we are entering into that world which is binding us more and more rather than giving moksha. So when the one who inquires with the guidance of Guru in the Satsanga, he'll understand that on the name of moksha, I'm entering to more and more bondage only. Moksha is somewhere else. So it's in the Brahma Vidya Upanishad. That is the maturity. A matured person never goes into the world which is binding. He will go into the Guru and Shastra and Swadhyaya, enters into that. And it has to happen inside us. Such persons, for them, Upanishad is so fulfilling. And it starts giving him the clarity of vision, one after the other. And in the meditation also, when he's transcending all the upadhis, right understanding, and getting the glimpses of the anubhuti, अब उनका तो अभी खुशी का कोई ठिकाना नहीं. His joy is thousands of more than even Swarga Ananda, even the Brahmaloka Ananda. That is why the Ananda Mimamsa will come in our Kata Upanishad, is in Taittiriya Upanishad itself, where the Brahma Tattva Ananda is said to be the greatest than even the Brahmaloka's Ananda. ठीक है, प्रजापति आनंद से भी बड़ा है. Now उपनिषण्णं वा अस्याम परम श्रेयः इति. Now tadarthatvat. Tadarthatvat means what? That moksha is the purpose of this Upanishad study, the Grantha. Therefore, Grantha Abhi Upanishad iti uchyate. Grantha gives that Anubhava. Therefore, by default, the Grantha is named as Upanishad. But without the moksha Anubhuti, by studying the Upanishad, don't say that I studied Upanishad, don't say that I have become Mukta, or don't say that I want Mukti. It won't happen. तो देने के कारण इसको भी उपनिषद कहते हैं, द ग्रंथ को भी. अदरवाइज ग्रंथ विथ ऑल द प्रिंटेड मैटर, वी हैव द वर्ड्स एंड लिटरल मीनिंग ऑफ द वर्ड्स, इवन कन्विक्शन, नन ऑफ दैट इज व्हाट उपनिषद. उपनिषद इज ओनली अनुभव. अनुभव, आई एम अनंत ब्रह्म स्वरूप. Therefore, there is no bondage possible in me of any sort. Bondage is limitation, leading to desire, wanting to do something, to get that going into some place. You see in that when you go to a first time into a supermarket, you want so many things. So you go on begging that fellow, भाई चाय पत्ती का किधर है, उधर है काउंटर. फिर चीनी का किधर है, इधर है काउंटर. फिर दाल किधर है, उधर है. So we are tossed from one place to the other because so many desires we have. Is it not? Go to every place. The whole world is supermarket. We have so many desires. Therefore, we are thrown from one place to the other. All of that gives pleasure, sukha, but not the moksha or ananda. Ananda and mukti will be only possible when I, through Upanishad study, pursue Brahma Vidya, and pursuit of Brahma Vidya takes me to Brahma Anubhava. So what is Upanishad? Moksha Anubhava, Brahma Anubhava. Clear? Now comes the first Anuvaka. And luckily, first Anuvaka itself is Shanti Mantra, or Shanti Mantra itself is first Anuvaka. And because this Shanti Mantra has become the part of the Upanishad's first Anuvaka, first Valli, Shankara Bhagavan took it as responsibility to comment on it. In other places, only the chanting of the mantra is done, because the Shanti Mantra, after which the Upanishad starts. Therefore, he generally doesn't comment. But here, he has given the beautiful Bhashya to the Shanti Mantra, which is the first Anuvaka of the first Siksha Valli. Siksha Valli has got some 14 or 15 Anuvakas. First one is the Shanti Mantra. Today we are entering into that. Let us chant it first once. Then we start seeing little of the meaning. Continue tomorrow. Okay. Om Ata Shanti Mantra. Everyone, loudly, wonderfully. 2 times we will chant. Om Shanno Mitraha Sham Varunaha Shanno Bhavatvaryama Shanna Indro Bruhaspatihi Shanno Vishnurukramaha Namo Brahmane Namaste Vayo Tvameva Pratyaksham Brahmasi Tvameva Pratyaksham Brahma Vadishyami ऋतं वदिष्यामि सत्यं वदिष्यामि तन्मामवतो तद्वक्तारमवतो अवतु माम् अवतु वक्तारम् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः अगेन ॐ शन्नो मित्रः शं वरुणः शन्नो भवत्वर्यमा शन्न इन्द्रो बृहस्पतिः शन्नो विष्णुरुक्रमः नमो ब्रह्मणे नमस्ते वायो त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्मासि त्वामेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्म वदिष्यामि ऋतं वदिष्यामि सत्यं वदिष्यामि तन्मामवतो तद्वक्तारमवतो अवतु माम् अवतु वक्तारम् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. In this Prathamanuvaka, the Mangalasarana or Shanti Mantra, they are the 4 portions we can say, or even 5. First one is Sham Sham Sham, may there be peace, quietude, non-restlessness or restfulness, etc. Asking different deities or devatas. First one. Second one is what? Special asking to a special deity called as Vayu. Third one is to invoke your blessings, what I commit to do. Pratigna it is called, third portion. Then fourth one is again prarthana to bless me and the teacher. So first one is praising all the devatas and asking them Sham. Sham Nami. Second is Vayu Devata, special prayer to him. You are Pratyaksha Brahma. Third is commitment, that Rutam Satyam Vadishyami. Fourth one is asking Mam Avatu, Avaktaram Avatu. Fifth one, let there be the peace at all levels of Adi Bhautika, Adi Devika, Adhyatmika. This is how Shanti Mantra. 5 aspect, 5 topics are there. Exhaustive, so beautiful. I tell you, this mantra and in the 4th Anuvaka, what we are studying, the Yashchanda Samar Shubha Shrupa, if these 2 mantras are by hearted and done, chanting every day, every of the Brahma Vidya, Guru Krupa, Tattva Krupa starts happening in us. Let us start it from today itself. Now, in the Bhashya, I told you there are 5 things in this. Prarthana, a special prarthana, commitment to asking what we want to, finally the Trividha Shanti, Trividha Tapa Shanti. One by one we will see. Now, Om Shanno Mitra Ityadi. So it's already in the first page, first place. Therefore, Bhagavan is not writing the mantra, direct is giving commentary. Now, one by one we see. Sham no Mitraha. Then Sham Varunaha, then Sham no Bhavatu Aryama, then Sham na Indraha Brahaspatihi, Sham naha Vishnu Urukramaha, Namo Brahmane, Namaste Vayo, Tvameva Pratyaksham Brahmasi, Tvameva Pratyaksham Brahma Vadishyami, Rutam Vadishyami, Satyam Vadishyami, Tat Om Mam Avatu, Tat Vaktaram Avatu, Avatu Mam Avatu Vaktaram. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So first one is Sham naha Mitraha. Okay, Sham means what? Sukham. Sham means Sukham. There should be no Dukkham, outer or internal. Because a Dukhi Atma will try to remove his Dukkha, he will not have an inspiration to study Shastra or know the truth. And in this case, every Devata we are asking Sham, Sham, Sham only. Means whatever the Dukkha Rahitya, Sukha Sthiti, which we need in the pursuit of Atma Vidya, which you can give, O God, please give us that particular deity. So Sham Sukham. First who? Pranavrittehe ahanaha cha abhimani devata atma mitraha naha asmakam bhavatu. So naha to all of us asmakam bhavatu. May he be so. Who? The mitraha. Who is mitraha? Pranavrittehe ahana cha abhimani devata. Kam kim bhavatu? Sham bhavatu. Sukham bhavatu. So may Lord Surya be the giver of Sukhakara, giver of Sukha to us. So Mitraha Sham Bhavatu. So Sham Sukham. So Sukha Pradata Bhavatu. Kaha Sham. So mitraha. So mitraha asmabhyam naha sukha pradata bhavatu. Asmabhyam means yearly when there is a Upanishad studies going on, the guru as well as disciples. Sometimes guru and disciple may be one. Sometimes disciples can be more than one also. Therefore plural. So mitraha asmabhyam sham bhavatu. Mitraha asmabhyam naha mitraha naha sham bhavatu. Sham no mitraha sham naha bhavatu. Sham sukham bhavatu mitra. Now, what we have to understand is who is Mitra. Mitra is Pranavrutte and also Ahnaha cha Abhimani Devata Atma Mitraha. So, Mitra is that aspect of Bhagavan Surya alone who is the Abhimani Devata, the presiding deity of these two things. One is Pranavrutti, second is Ahnaha, daytime. So the presiding deity of the daytime, the presiding deity of Pranavrutti, called Mitraha, become the cause of Sukha for us. Now there are two aspects have to be studied. One aspect is what? What is the meaning of this Pranavrutti as well as then Ahnaha in our spiritual sadhana? Then how do they come to us with the blessings of Surya or Mitra? Rather, what we have to do invoke those two blessings from him. So the Mitra Bhagavan is Adhisthana Devata of Pranavrutti as well as Ahanaha daytime. May he become Sukhi to us. So why he is the Adhisthana Devata of these two and what is the role of them in our life? And then how and when he will bless us with this Sukha. These two things we have to understand. It's a sample. That will continue for every Devata. Now, one is the Mitra is the Devata of the Pranavritti and Ahnaha. Now, let us start from the Ahnaha, means what? Daytime. No, you cannot do your any spiritual sadhana in the night time. It has to be done in the daytime only, right from early morning onwards. Therefore, who is the Adhisthana Devata of the Ahnaha? This great Mitraha. Therefore, may he give us active dynamic daytimes so that those timings we utilize in the study of the Upanishads and Brahma Vidya. Therefore, O Mitra, Sham, because you are the Aknehe Abhimani Atma or Devata. May have more and more days to live, live. Is it not? The whole day also, if we sleep, day also is spent like a night only, then how can we do our sadhana and meditation? So the Abhimani Devata of the night, of the daytime. Because all the Vyapara never start in the night. In fact, every Vyapara gets stopped and dissolved when the night comes. But when it becomes morning, everything in the world, the trees, the bird, the animals, all of them start active and dynamic. So do all the human beings, whatever the pursuits they are according to their varna ashrama, all of them start in the morning only. And the Adhisthana Devata of morning is the Mitra Bhagavan. Therefore, Aknaha Adhisthana Devata Mitraha Naha Shambhavatu means let there be bright, brilliant days called as opportunities for us in pursuit of the Paramatma. First meaning. Second is what? Pranamurtehe Devata. What is Pranamurti Devata? Are Baba, whatever the goals you have, whatever the resources you have, one can use the resources in the path to reach the goal. Only and if only when he has got lot of prana shakti in him. Without the prana shakti, can any pursuit is done? Like if I have not got up in the morning by the grace of Mitra, and if I don't have the sufficient prana shakti, can I be able to speak for 1 hour on this Upanishad? Can you be able to listen and understand? Behind every of the faculties, that tremendous prana shakti's presence is the one because of which all activities are done by faculties, whether spiritual or non-spiritual. Here we are aiming at spiritual. So pranavrutte ahnaha abhimani devata atma mitraha naha shambhavatu. Therefore, the giver of the day as giver of the prana is mitra. May by giving this to us, giving us a lot of days, healthy days, and full of the prana shakti, may he make our pursuit of spirituality sukham. बिकॉज डे टाइम ओनली वी कैन डू साधना, अंधेरे में नहीं होता, और प्राण शक्ति है तभी हम जाके कर सकते हैं. व्हेन देयर इज नो प्राण, निस्सत्व, निर्वीर्यता, निश्चेष्टता और नो एनर्जी, यू कांट इवन गेट अप फ्रॉम द बेड. The two types of prana at the physical level of prana is the dynamism of the body. The prana at the psychological level is called the inspiration. Is it not? When the prana is in a very dull level, we don't even get up in the morning to come to the class. But when the prana shakti is full in swing mein hai, if the class is 7 that you get up at 5 only, finish all your routine, japa puja, straight at quarter to 7:20 only you sit in the class, and the entire day you are so attentive to listen every aspect. That day the prana shakti is in full swing. Subtle prana shakti. The gross prana shakti is at the physical level. The body has to be healthy, strong, should be able to sit for 1 hour, 1.5 hours, and chant the mantras. शन्ना मित्रः संवरुणः, ये स्थूल प्राण शक्ति है. बट ये करने के लिए सूक्ष्म प्राण शक्ति should be there to inspire us for this goal. Some have the energy for physical and vocal, but tell them to do chant Veda mantra, means the Veda mantra related Sukshma Prana Shakti is not there in them. But ask them to sing a cinema song, then they take up. So that type of subtle Prana Shakti to inspire them to do that work is there. So we need from the Mitra, the Prana Shakti to inspire us from within, and the Prana Shakti at the gross level of the body and vocal cords to do this pursuit of Upanishad Adhyayana. And that Mitra Deva should help us in this as a Ahna Devata. Let the entire day, because from morning till evening is the Adhisthana Devata. So the continuous Prana Shakti should be there from morning and evening, and all that Prana Shakti should help me in pursuing the spiritual sadhana only. If Brahma Vidya is studied in the morning, doesn't mean the afternoon and evening you are away from it. It is taught in the morning, but you are doing contemplation throughout the day and living it throughout the day. And for that you have to have the bright, brilliant day along with all the stamina or the energy or prana shakti. Therefore, what is the meaning of it is what? Starting from morning till evening, maybe have all the occasions, opportunities along with the prana shakti in us to pursue the Brahma Vidya. Oh, the Adhisthana Devata, Prana Shakti, and the daytime, oh Mitra, I am praying to you knowing that you are the presiding deity. Please bless us with these two. May there be Sham Sukham. Sukha means convenience. Sukha means, what do you say? Shanti. Sukha means, what do you call? Convenience only. No inconvenience is there. No problem should be there in that. Now, the most important thing is how and why and when this Mitra will help us. Clear point question we have to ask is no? The one who has addicted to his own excessive hours of sleep and never wanting to come out of the bed, what can the Mitra do? Remember this, the Lord Mitra, the early morning rising sun, he will rise in his own time. Neither he will stop for any reason or anybody, nor he will come for anybody. He will keep coming by his own nature. He will not delay. क्योंकि कोई बंदा 9 बजे तक सोना चाहता है, इसे मैं 9 बजे आऊँगा, ऐसा नहीं होता. कोई कहता है 4 बजे आ जाओ, you can't, no, I will come at my own time, 6, 7, 6:15, whatever. Now, if one person is not himself ready to get the blessing of Mitra Devata by coming out of his own letharginess or laziness or sleepiness, how can he get the blessings of the Mitra Devata? Is it not? A lazy person, physically, intellectually, etc., is gone case only. He will not be useful for the world, nor useful for himself, nor he can pursue any of this spiritual sadhana. Therefore, here, before asking Mitra to become Sham to us, we have to face him, and then only you can ask him. And to face him, you have to get up before him and do all your early morning formalities. And with the Surya Namaskara is not done when Surya rises. Before Surya rises, Namaskara is done. Having received our Namaskara, then he rises to bless us with whatever the Sankalpa with which we have done the Namaskara. तो सुबह उठकर नहाकर सूर्योपासना, संध्योपासना, सूर्य नमस्कार जो बंदा करता है, उसी को मित्र भगवान का अनुग्रह से शम होता है. Is it not? Any person, any living being in the world, especially the human, can never afford to sleep beyond the sunrise or sunlight. Especially a spiritual seeker should never see Surya before him waking up. He should get up much before सूर्य एंड भगवान सूर्य और मित्र को स्वागत करते हुए सब तैयारी के साथ हमें पहले उठना है. This you can see in all the great saints and jnanis and bhaktas, Puja Gurudev and all. We have never seen Gurudev sleeping beyond 4:30 or 5. 4:30 उठ जाते हैं बस ब्रह्म मुहूर्त. Before sun comes, he does all these upasana prarthana. Then sun came, then we invoke his grace, get inspired by him, and follow his own routine as he is from morning till evening, going on serving the world with all his wisdom or brilliance. I also, in my own inner wisdom, brilliance of my own self being the self, I keep on serving the world. Surya Bhagavan is a prerana for us for jnanam as well as seva or karma. And jnanam is used for karma or seva only when there is prema. So Bhagavan Surya is the expression, embodiment of bhakti, jnana and karma. His light indicates the jnanam, his seva indicates the karma, and throughout the day, every day is coming that shows his love for the jivas on the earth. Getting that inspiration, we conduct. But for that, we should know that we should get blessings from Surya, and for that, you have to get up before he comes. This is the meaning of Shamno Mitraha. We explained everything. Mitra is the Adhisthana Devata for both daytime and the Prana Shakti. And without the Prana Shakti and without the whole day, the Prana Shakti is there. None of the pursuits we can do, especially the spiritual. And for that, you have to get the blessing of Aditya or Shan Mitraha. Mitra will bless you only when we get up in the morning and do all those pranayamas related to Surya Bhagavan, or namaskar related to Surya Bhagavan, argyadi related to Surya Bhagavan. Without getting up before him, without doing due upasanas, with which alone we can please him, we don't have the right to pray for him. Even if we pray, we don't deserve his blessings. Are these not the things which you have to train in, teach our own children and grandchildren? If your child is made to wake up at 5 instead of 8 o'clock, in his entire life of 90 years, he is saving or is expanding his age by 3 more hours, means 1/8 of his life. अगर 80 साल किसके बंदे के हैं तो 10 साल उम्र बढ़ेगा, उसका 90 बनेगा, और वो 8 बजे उठने के बजाय 5 बजे उठता है. तो because these 3 hours are 1/8 of a day. In 24 hours, I have slept 3 hours extra. That means 1/8 I have consumed more. तो 80 hours, 80 years की उम्र में 10 साल मैं ज़्यादा सोया हूँ. Conversely, if I get up at 5 o'clock, 8, 3 hours I have saved per day is equal to 10 years of my 8 years of life I have made use of. Calculate करना होता है ऐसे. See that feeling in us. Get up morning, took all your bath, did yoga, pranayama, and did Surya Namaskar and Argyavadi. Then as the sun is coming horizon, we are asking, oh Surya Bhagavan, give me the entire day, full of peace and sukha. Give me so much of prana shakti so that there is a sufficient flow of that is there in me. I want like you to serve the world. Before that, I want to serve my Guru, and from him, I want to learn the Upanishad Brahma Vidya. कितना बढ़िया रहेगा वो वाला. And throughout the day, whenever you lack the inspiration or energy, look at Bhagavan Surya and ask him. If somebody is having full faith in that Aditya or Mitra or Surya, that is a living entity, and he is empowering every jiva with that faith from the sun himself directly, the physical and psychological, intellectual empowerment we can get both to pursue the service of the world, pursue our own spiritual sadhana. There's no doubt. So, Shamno Mitra, hey Mitra, you bless me. ऐसा नहीं होता. So much we have to understand in that. And Shankara Bhagavan gave us Mitraha, Akhnaha, and Pranasya, Adhisthana, Devata, Abhimani, Devata Atma, Mitraha, Naha Asmakam, Bhavatu Shamma. That's the meaning. Second one is Tatha Eva, in the same way, Apana Vruttehe, Ratrehe cha, Abhimani, Devata Atma, Varunaha. Naha asmabhyam sham sukham bhavatu. Just like the Mitra was the daytime and Pranavrutti, then Varuna is the night time and Apanavrutti is the Adhisthana or Abhimani Devata. He also should become Sham to us. Then what is the meaning of apana vritti? What is the meaning of ratri? Then how this Varuna blesses us? What we have to have our attitude. These things. Then in the same way, Shamna Bhautaryama, Indraha, Varaspati, Vishnu, Uruknamaha, all of these devatas who are very much is there in the world, because whose presence only entire Vyashti and Samasti world is going on. Every day in every pursuit, especially in spiritual pursuit, we must invoke their blessings for removal of obstacles, for also empowering us to pursue the goal. बिना देवताओं के उपासना का, उनके शक्तियों के संचयन का हम कहीं भी क्षेत्र में आगे बढ़ सकते हैं. That's why in this Upanishad, Taittiriya, unlike in any of the Upanishad, more and more upasanas only are spoken in the entire. Upanishad starts with only upasana. Siksha Vyakyasya Panchaswadikarenesu Adilokam Adijosam Adividyam Adiprajam Adhyatmam Iti Mamaha Asagamita Eva Meta Maha Asagamita Upanishada Vyakyasya. All the upasana is said. Yes, Chandasam Shubha Vishruva, that also is upasana is said. Then in the third one, Upasita. This Upanishad actually more than Jnana, upasana is done. Because only through upasana when we become qualified for the Jnana. This is the meaning of Shannomitra. Sham Varunaha tomorrow. Sarvam Shri Guru Paramparayaha Parayaha Charana Aravindarmanamastu. Om 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 Purnamada Purnavidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha Paramaharshibhyo Namaha Parabrahmane Namaha Shrutimatre Namaha. Om Yagnavalkarushaye Namaha. Om Vaishampayanarushaye Namaha Vedavyasarushaye Namaha. Asmat Gurubhyo Namaha Tatsat Brahma Arpanamastu. Thank you, friends. 10 minutes, please give me for us to study 1 or 2 mantras of Viduraniti, which we made a